They don't want to take
I know.
I had it at home, she does not have it yet, it's at home. Hey, Greg. Yeah, I was just wondering if you knew the one meeting later.
Yeah, not the budget.
Yeah. Once you clear to the end, you ran out of pictures.
And they did a pre-roll, they don't do a sudden death.
Chat, Sanchez.
Ready? Call me in order. Roll call, sir.
Zach Glasgow.
Here.
Greg Dickman.
Here.
Nikki New.
Here.
Stephanie Wilson.
Here.
And Lori Kimball is absent and excused.
Excellent. If you would like to join me stand if you're able, and join me in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you to everyone that has joined us tonight. Are there any additions, deletions, or changes to the agenda? Okay, hearing none, we will move forward with the proposed agenda. Do we have anyone signed up?
I can't get back there. Is anybody here for public participation? No.
Raise your hand if you're signed up for, okay. All right, moving on. Our favorite part of the meeting, reports and presentations. Looks like we have jacket spotlight.
Okay.
Start with high school.
What's that?
Start with the high school.
High school, okay. So we will call your name, and if you would come on with your parents, I'll present you with a plaque. Tiffany will get a picture of you. And then at the end, after we go through everyone, if we can have all the students come up with to get a group picture to put on our Facebook page. Okay.
Yes. So from Sidney High School, we have Payson Lewis, a freshman. Payson is the daughter of Steve and Kelsey Lewis. And the staff at Sidney High School said from the first day of school, Payson has been nothing but an attentive student. She has maintained the highest Spanish 1 grade and honor roll in all her classes. In nomination, Mr. Toby mentioned what a wonderful student and person she is. Payson is respectful, well-mannered, and an all-around good person. She is dedicated to doing her best. Even after having knee surgery earlier this school year, she was able to maintain high-achieving grades and focus on school. This nomination recognizes the potential in Payson to be an outstanding Yellow Jacket role model for our students at Sidney High School. From Sidney Middle School, we have Sidney Johnson III, who is in 5th grade, the son of Amber Russell and Sidney Johnson. Sidney is a model student at Sidney Middle School. He truly embodies what students should strive for in our building, Mr. Schlinker says. Sidney is a wonderful student to have in class. He is kind, polite, and always willing to help when needed. He always has a positive attitude and a smile on his face, and I've really enjoyed having him acquire this year. Miss Lundy and Miss Berkey said, Sidney is a bright and enthusiastic 5th grader with an infectious curiosity about the world around him. He approaches each school day with a smile and a can-do attitude, always eager to learn and explore new ideas. Sidney is a natural leader among his peers. He often takes initiative during group activities, encouraging his classmates to work collaboratively. His kindness and empathy make him a great friend, as he is always willing to lend a helping hand or offer support to others. Mr. Finke said Sidney is a hard worker and a role model. It was an easy decision to recognize him as the Jacket Spotlight for Sidney Middle School because he truly is an amazing young man. Excellent job, Sidney. And then from Northwood, we have Carlin Cook, third grader, who is here with Aunt Vanessa Wigington. Carlin is fun, caring, and is a fun and caring, imaginative student. She wants to do well and tries to put forth her best effort every day. In class, she loves to participate and share her background knowledge and vocabulary skills. She makes great connections across topics and brings an interesting and unique perspective to class discussions. When faced with challenging assignments or tasks, Carlin shows persistence and amazing problem-solving abilities. Her reading, writing, and math skills have all improved exponentially this year. Her teachers are proud of her academic growth, but equally excited to see her social and emotional growth. Carlin knows that life is not always easy, but she is learning how to use healthy strategies to support herself to manage the hard things that come her way. She is becoming independent, resilient, and a good advocate for her own needs. Carlin is not afraid to be herself and encourages others to be exactly who they want to be. She is an artist, a thinker, a reader, a comedian, a mathematician, a dreamer, and a good friend. She is a joy to have in class, and her teachers are so proud of her.
Shut your mouth, Carlin.
Okay, and from Longfellow, we have first grader Liam Case, parents Tiara Branscombe and Ryan Case. And here's what Longfellow has to say. Mrs. McLean noted that Liam always enters school with a smile on his face. Liam is a student who is eager to learn and willing to help others when needed. He's always a great friend with his classmates. Liam especially likes to help out at school. When he sees the trash around the building, he cleans it up just because it is the right thing to do. We love having Liam at Longfellow. And then finally, we have Jasper Osborne, son of Chantel Osborne.
Is Jasper here?
Nope, I'll read it anyway.
Okay. And I'll hold the flag.
Academically, Jasper has improved his pre-kindergarten skills such as letter and sound identification, writing his name, and using scissors. He participates in playtime by interacting well with our toys, materials, and other students. During times when he needs guidance or assistance to play well, he works on improving. At learning times, he has shown gains in participating, taking turns, completing work, and using more words and interactions with the adults and friends in our classroom. Cami Samatinger, our speech therapist, has great things to say about his improvement, including coming out of his shell and becoming more social with his peers and adults. She says he always has a smile on his face and is cooperative. Mrs. Steenrod, our classroom assistant, who is here, stated that she thinks he has become a great role model because he knows the classroom routine so well and follows the classroom rules and expectations.
Okay. Can we have all the kids come up for just a quick group picture? Is that possible?
There you go.
Here you go, Kevin.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Nice smile. All right, congratulations.
Excellent. And if you'd like to stay, you're more than welcome. If you'd like to quietly exit and get on with your evening, you're more than welcome to do that as well.
There's a lot to do now.
You have to stay.
I had Boy Scout requirements.
It's just that she's not here.
All right, now that the room is quieted down, we can move on with the treasurer's report. Mr. Watkins.
All right, first item, I'd like to request a motion to approve minutes, financial report, and invoices paid as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. So for the month of February, on the revenue side, property tax is still, we're still seeing the impact of the late notice or late bills being sent out. The collections aren't near what we would normally have seen during this time of the year. I expect March to really catch us back up, if you will. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be at or right on, near target for our estimates for the year. So, but that is true, as you will see, that's kind of trickling down through the entire financial narrative. Income tax, it looks like my auto changed January to February because we didn't receive any more collections in February. We're all in January. So there's no new information there. The state funding, as you can see, we're right on target, 0.03% difference. Property tax allocation follows property taxes, so we won't see anything in that line item for March, May, and April. And although revenue continues to well exceed the estimates, you just see part of it was that the Medicaid reimbursement, but a really big piece of this is that with the balances we've carried and interest rates being very favorable, we're seeing much more interest income than we had previously. So, on the expenditure side, salary and benefits, we're still a little more than estimate, but we're less than 1% difference there. Purchase services continues to be the talking point for these financial information. And, I keep digging in deeper. One thing I did find, I have narrative too, it's basically all of our student geared services for the most part. I did find out or had discovered, which I had forgotten, the ESC, we started Resilient Heights last year, was the first year we used that service, and it was just a partial year. Beginning the year, our rate that was stated is about $150 less than where it is now. In October, they had to increase that rate per student per day. And so we are seeing a significant increase in the expenditures there. It went from like 127 to we're at 270 per day per student now. That's a really significant, and they're attributing it to just the not enough students from every district to spread out the cost. And the staff that's needed to support that. So like, for example, for us, which we're the biggest user there, obviously, but there are only, 14, 15 students in the ED program. Problem is, they have a third grader all the way up to 11th grader. Well, that big grade band is taking 4 teachers to cover those grade bands. You can't, you're not gonna have a third grader in with an 8th grader. So you're having these personnel costs and so forth, in addition to the overhead that are being supported primarily by us, honestly, with the number of students that are there. But that's just, it is what it is. We're needing that program because we can't service those students here ourselves. We tried, that's what we were doing previously before we were able to have access to that program starting last year. So, supplies and materials, really no change for the prior month. I continue to see those trending downward for the rest of the year. Capital outlay is very favorable. and our miscellaneous were less than estimated. So overall, our first 7 months of revenues are less than our expenditures, but that really is driven by the property tax collections. And so I anticipate with those collections coming in, the one more income tax collection, and then the property tax allocation, which is the homestead rollback. You know, once we see all those come in, it'll turn to a favorable comparison. Now, will it end up being necessarily what we had originally estimated for the entire year? You know, with the way purchase services are trending, probably not, but I think it'll be a favorable comparison that we will still generate more revenue than we have expenditures this year. Any questions?
None for me. Thank you for that, by the way. No other questions from any other, okay. Hearing no further questions, or discussions, we'll bring it to a vote.
Dickman.
Yes.
New.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Bosley.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item. I'd like to request a motion to approve the OPEPP members to receive $25 per meeting for the 3-year term of the program.
Second.
I had, Amber is leading this program. I had her include her proposal and what it's doing. There's funding to help offset this cost. In the first year, it doesn't quite cover it. I'm trying to remember in 2 and 3, but over the course of the entire program, the funding is more than what the expenditures will be for the 3-year period. I don't know. Do you understand what that whole? It's for the paraprofessionals, and it's I think to increase their awareness and
and give them training to better support teachers in the classroom working with students.
I'm on the team. Do you want me
oh,
to?
you're on the team.
Currently, we're doing a needs assessment in the buildings to try to determine what our paraprofessionals need in the way of training, be that behavior, instructional, whatever that might look like. And then we are going to, our next meeting, take a look at what our paras need and then start some training. I think the idea is to do the training in-house from the team.
When would it start?
When do we start?
Just like the training.
The training, this summer, maybe, if we're really, really good.
Next school year though. I mean.
Yeah.
So this is a 3-year contract or commitment?
Yeah.
I have no further questions. Okay, we have a motion and a second with no further questions. We'll bring it to a vote.
Wilson.
Yes.
Dickman.
Yes.
New.
Yes.
Bosley.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next is the purchase services consent agenda. I'd like to request a motion to approve the purchase services contract consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Pretty standard, anything, I mean, we know purchase services are under the microscope all the time, but
Yeah.
anything like egregiously high?
No, two of the 4 items on there are paid with grant funding,
Okay, good.
so that's helpful. Key behavior is an addition of what we are already doing. It's just we're needing more hours, but it's not outrageously. I mean, it's expensive, but it's not like we're not talking $70,000, $80,000, $100,000.
Sure.
So it's reasonable for the service we're receiving.
Okay. That's clear. It's clear for me. Any questions from the board on those items in the Purchase services,
No.
okay, hearing none, we'll bring it to a vote.
Hickman.
Yes.
New.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Boslett.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you, Mike. Okay, moving on to superintendent's report, Mr. Humble.
Okay. Would request a motion to approve the presented personnel items pending proper certification and paperwork.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Okay, no questions, no comments. We have a motion and a second, we'll bring it to a vote.
New.
Yes.
Hickman.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Boslett.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, I have request a motion to approve an overnight trip for FFA to Columbus for the state convention.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, any questions, concerns? Okay, hearing none, we'll bring it to a vote. This is the only one you've been late on.
Nikki.
I'm trying to be efficient,
Sorry.
trying to be efficient.
Wilson.
Yes.
Hickman.
Yes.
New.
Yes.
Boslett.
Yes,
Motion carries.
Next, request a motion to approve the attached MOU to Article 29 of the OPSI agreement concerning hours and overtime pay.
So moved.
Second.
makes pretty good sense. The red line is the sentence that's being changed. And that's to offer the overtime on a scheduled basis, and if no one claims it, then they direct someone to come in, essentially. Did I follow that right in layman's terms? Okay. No other questions?
No.
Okay, we'll bring it to a vote.
Hickman.
Yes.
New.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Boslett.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next I have a request a motion to approve the following job descriptions for attached for district-wide curriculum and instructional coach, athletic director, STEAM teacher, and director of operations. Basically just kind of cleaning up that and changing some duties around.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Yeah, I was able to access them earlier. I have no questions. Nikki, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good?
Yep.
All right, without any questions, we'll bring it to a vote.
Hickman.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
New.
Yes.
Boslett.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Humble. I do believe we have, a reason for executive session for the considering employment of a school or employee of the school district. Okay. Well, no motion to go into executive, if that's the case. So is there a motion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Nikki. Sorry, go ahead and call roll, sir.
Hickman.
Yes.
New.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Boslett.
Yes. And if we could have Mr. Snyder and Ms. Parker stay for the executive.
And there will be no.
Yeah,
There'll be no
action
action after.
afterwards.